Sure. I mean, it's been impressive to be a part of and see. Really great job by Joe just coming in and picking up the system and not just picking it up and be able to execute at a high level. Again, we're very happy that we had a chance to pick Joe up, and he's proved that it was a great decision. He's played great, and he's put us in a position where we are now. And give us some rest this week and go from there. But couldn't be more pleased.
Good start practice quarterback. Mr. Jeff. What excites about you to see Jeff in games and see what he has with his team?
Yeah, no, Jeff's a guy that has a lot of athleticism. He's a bigger guy. He's a strong arm. I'm very familiar with Jeff from our time together in Cincinnati. And I think with Dorian being moved to IR, it gives us a chance to bring another athletic body in that can fill some of the roles that Dorian played. So it'd be good to get him in. He has familiarity with the system, obviously coming from Arizona, and familiarity with Cincy days. Some of that stuff is carried here. So I think he feels comfortable with where we are. We're excited to see it.
Now, what do you think about Joe? It's just the rise seems so. What do you think you surprising part that he's been able to have?
I'd say probably the biggest thing for me is just the immediate connection with the receivers. I mean, there's some routes down the field that are like handoffs. And that's just a guy that's, like I said before, he's accurate in all three levels of the field. But that to me has been the most impressive. And then just to be on the same page with the guys just showed what that is.
Quarterback poise. Some of these Joe, a lot of people talk about Joe with Joe. Is that something almost innate within? I mean, is that something that, you either have it or you don't. It's not something you kind of develop.
He's always had it. I think that's the biggest thing. He's played a ton of football. So he knows how to move in the pocket. He knows when he's hot, when he's warm, when he has to get rid of the ball. All those things are just that veteran experience, and it's paid off. I mean, he's made plays versus cover zero. They had one more that he could block, bought time. He just knows how to operate in just about all circumstances. He's seen them all. It's surprising, really, to see the way he's played. It is surprising. Fortunate for us.
That was probably one of your reports best games on Thursday, I think. Just what did you see from him, especially the first touchdown, big catch play?
Yeah, he's a tough tackle in the open field. His feet are so quick. His contact balance is outstanding. Broke tackles to score late, made some big runs, broke tackles. I mean, it's all the things we've always seen from Jerome. His pass protection was excellent. He was one of the best teammates on the field. He was picking guys up. I agree. I thought it was one of Jerome's best games to date. So look forward to build on that in the future. But he's playing at a high level.
How has he kind of grown into that job over the year?
He got thrust into it early, and has kind of just warmed up to it. He's taken on that role. He said it'd take a lot of shoes, feet to fill Nick's shoes, and he stepped up to the challenge. Really proud of him. All three backs really had a solid day last week.
I was getting that real high. Another guy who's wait, obviously,
right.
But is it a pleasant surprise the way he continued to come in? You haven't been able to give him the
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's added so much productivity to their offense down in tight, especially. His ability to run hard between the tackles is something that stands out, and especially when he gets around the goal line. It's hard to deny him the goal line. He'll run guys over if he needs to, but he smells the end zone. He gets in. That's just part of what he's done for us this season. He's made huge runs on third down for us, and he's had great protection. So the value that he's brought us this season has been huge. And really proud of him. Not a great circumstance. Didn't want to not be on a team, I'm sure. But once we got him here, man, he's been all on board, and he's been a great teammate as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Dave. I could not be happier. There's a guy that just it's done nothing but keep his head down and work. Has gotten better every year we've been together, and just so happy and proud of him. And I'm glad that he got the accomplishments because he deserves them. He's really playing at that level, And again, just really happy for David. There's a guy that does it the right way, uh, and it's paid off for him.
Did you know that you had something special in
You could see it early on. It was probably just for us finding the best way to utilize his skill sets, I think, and we grew with him as we saw what he could really do. Um, Again, we try to get him the ball in all situations, not only down the field but short, and let him run. So it's probably a little bit of us growing into him as much as him growing into himself.
This year, you guys first team in NFL history to have 4 different starting quarterbacks to make the playoffs. Can you put in perspective like how unique of an experience this year has been given those circumstances, and what has it been like for you to be able to work with all those guys?
It's been a great experience. It's one I'll always cherish and remember. It's been a unique year, challenging. There's been a lot of adversity, but the room has always been solid. We always feel like we're going to try to get whoever's playing in the best position to win for the team. And I think Kevin has really done a great job of catering how he calls the game to each player. Again, he's always thinking about their strengths and then trying to protect them from their weaknesses. And I think a lot of it comes down to how Kevin calls those games. A lot of it comes down to how confident those guys are going into those games. That's the quarterback room is always a tight room, and we've had multiple people in, and multiple people have stepped up. And again, so proud of Dorian and PJ and Joe, Deshaun. He played through some stuff that was incredible. So to get to where we are now has been rewarding. It's been challenging, but it's definitely a year that I'll not forget.
Joe, Jeff is 6'4", big quarterback out of Big Time on. That so it's kind of forming kind of towards Joe, bringing it back.
Yeah, I think that they're similar but different. I think Jeff's obviously more athletic than Joe. I don't want to tell Joe that, but I think Joe would admit that. Yeah, but that I'm sure that did have something to do with the familiarity with the system. I think it's about Jeff that we knew about him, giving him an opportunity to come in and see if he can help us.
Obviously, Jerome's a big part of the run game on Thursday. But what else do you think is working after the previous couple of weeks had been
That's tough. That's a good defense. We faced a bunch of good defenses prior to that. I think we were on that night. I think their scheme that we ran that night was suited for that defense. Not getting into detail, but yeah, really proud of those guys. Challenged them earlier that we need to run the ball against the Jets, and I thought we could, and we did. I was proud of them. Yeah, yeah. He just needs to be himself. Dive into the plan each week and have a full understanding of what we're asking him to do, alignments, assignments, technique, everything as a rookie. I told those guys this morning, this is not the time to let up. It's the time to double down. These opportunities are special, and you don't know when you get your next one. So, but at the same time, I've been around a lot of teams that get to these games, playoff games, and they get super tight, and you make a ton of mistakes. So it's finding that happy medium. Let's do our job. Let's just do our job, execute one play at a time. But that's Ced's job. He needs to just do his job each week. And if he just does that, we'll be just fine.
Pierre's been number 3, kind of the third guy most of the season. But when like Thursday, when he got in there, he kind of flashed. Are you kind of excited to see him on Sunday? Probably get a much larger role in what he can do with that.
Absolutely. I mean, he's different when he touches it. You can see the speed. He gets through the hole differently, gets to the second level quickly, and has the speed to take it the distance. So I'm excited to see him get a bulk of play.
I think David to 81 catches. You talked about that growth with the staff. You and Kevin come into the season thinking we just got to find a way to get the ball.
Yeah, that was really it. Really, you think about it. You always think about your players. Who are the players and who do we need to highlight within the system? His number is always top.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that always helps. You get a guy with a lot of experience, Super Bowl MVP, and he's now on your team throwing you the ball. I think it definitely helps those guys. But again, great job by Joe. Again, I'm really proud of Amari too. getting to the Pro Bowl. I thought he well deserved. The guy's always played for us when he can. Played through terrible injury last year, got all the way through. You know, really happy for him. He's very deserving.
Alex, obviously, contact quarterback all the time. Off that. What are you getting out of those guys right now? What about?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing their butts off on the edge. They really are. I'm really proud of both those guys. You know, Hud's been here the longest, and I've seen him develop from the day he got here as the only rookie lineman that was in that class. 3-on-1 work he got with Coach Callahan and Coach Peters and Coach DeCoster. So I watched that growth. I'm proud of him as well. I mean, he's a guy that just has gone out and blocked whoever they put in front of him. And then to Jerron to come in halfway through and to be able to do what he did. I think we had 1 sack last week, and that was on a fall down naked keeper. Really, really proud of those guys up front with protection. Really blessed. All right. Thanks, guys.